Of course, Chelsea host Arsenal tomorrow night at 5:30. That's where we're going to start today's show. Ahead of the game, the Gunners' boss, Mikel Arteta, has been speaking about the influence Blues gaffer Mauricio Pochettino had on his career.
Obviously, it was my first professional opportunity in Paris, and we just arrived at the same time. We lived together in a hotel for 3 months. He was critical. He's been one of the most influential persons in my football career, first of all as a player. Without him, he took me under the arm like this, and he looked after me like a little child, a little brother, because he really looked after me, gave me a lot of confidence, a lot of advice, and he's been a role model for me since that day, not only when I was a player, but as a manager as well, because we have to make the decision to leave playing and start my coaching career. He had a big say on that, and I will be always grateful to what he's done for me.
Big game, I think this is for you. Well, obviously, it's a huge game away at Chelsea, away at the Bridge. Arsenal currently second at the moment. Haven't lost in the Premier League yet.
Just beat City.
You and I were chatting along with the rest of the boys in our drive time meeting. Some of you were saying, like, "Oh, maybe we got it wrong with Chelsea." I don't really understand what you're basing that off of. I know they've had their last 2 games. I think they beat Burnley and Fulham. Like, I mean, that wouldn't make me change my mind about any team, whether or not they're going to get top 4.
But that's my only. But this is where I was saying to you in the meeting. When you look who Spurs have beaten the 3 bottom teams in the league, and we give them all the praise in the world. Like, you can only beat whoever's ahead of you. And Chelsea,
but they can't beat. They lost. They lost at home to Villa. They drew with Bournemouth away.
Yeah, I get all that. But
lost at home to Forest.
No, my point is you can't give Spurs the praise for being where they are.
Well, you can.
What, for beating the same teams that Chelsea?
You can't do any better than Spurs have done. They've done the best.
Okay, but you're saying, by your analogy, we're basically poo-pooing now. They're beating Fulham and Burnley.
No, I'm not poo-pooing it, but what I'm saying is I haven't seen anything of Chelsea to make me think they can get top 4 of late.
Well, no, listen, they've certainly got better. Obviously, they've won 3 games in all competitions, their last 3 appearances, Brighton in the Cup, Fulham and Burnley.
But they've only won 3 games in the Premier League.
I get that, but they, I think, are starting...
I mean, you're talking about how bad Man United have been.
Yeah.
They're below Man United.
But they've looked better than you have, I believe.
I don't think that's the case.
No.
They've got less points.
Doesn't matter. I think they look better than you have. But
in what game?
Either way, you look at some of their players, for instance, Sterling looks like he's starting to really motor a little bit.
Last game he played well, but that's about it.
He's been their best player this year. I think he's been their best player this year. So I think it'd be more difficult. I mean, listen, Arsenal won the last 3 trips to Stamford Bridge, 1-0, 4-2 and 1-0. So and to be fair, Arsenal have actually done quite well. I think they've lost once in the last 7 in all comps against Chelsea. So Arsenal in this fixture of recent times have done really well. But I think for Chelsea, it was all about they had to start again. New manager, with Pochettino, loads of moving pieces. You've got the owner, you've got transfers left, right and centre. At some point, Pochettino, it was going to take a little bit of time, I believe, with Chelsea to get it right. I think they're starting to do that now. As I said, I know you're poo-pooing the Burnley, Fulham and in their last 2 results, but at the end of the day, they've won 3 on the bounce. They haven't done that for a long, long time. So it is a step in the right direction.
I think you'll win it.
I think Arsenal will win it. But
yeah,
I do think Arsenal will win it.
You take a draw now?
No. When you look at Chelsea, and why the reason I think they could come good is you look at their list of injuries. You've got Fofana, the centre half, and Nkunku, big money, centre forward, going to score goals. Chilwell, Reece James, Romain Lavia.
By the way, those 2, Chilwell and Reece James, massive.
Brozier's been out. Do you know what I mean? They've got Cole Palmer now. Looks like he's got a bit of a thigh injury. They've got so many players that you go, oof. Certainly, there's probably 3 there. You go the 2 fullbacks and Nkunku, and you go, wow.
Let me ask you picked Chelsea to get top 4 before the season.
Yeah.
Top 4 will be, without a doubt, Man City and Arsenal. I think we both agree with that.
I think Liverpool as well.
Liverpool. So there's one space. Do we both agree there's one space?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
And the Spurs currently look like they're going to get that.
They look great, yeah. Nick's a Chelsea fan. Hi, Nick. Good afternoon.
Hi, guys. How are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
Yeah, really well, thank you. Just about Chelsea, really.
Nick, why are you giggling?
Because I agree with Benty. I think we'll finish top 4, and I'll tell you for why. Okay. We've actually started taking our chances. Our defence has been superb all season, but we haven't been scoring. We've actually won 3 games in a row. We're actually scoring goals. Sterling's starting to look like the player we thought we bought in the first place. And Benty just hit the nail on the head with the injuries. When they start coming back properly, I think we'll draw against Arsenal. I know I'm a glass half full man, but I think we're going to draw 2-2 with Arsenal. We'll push on, and I really, it'll be between us and Man U, I think. And the only difference,
Spurs.
I kind of being a Chelsea fan, I'm watching Spurs every season. I've got good mates that are Spurs fans, but come March,
but you have to be realistic, right? I know you're not a fan of them, as they're not a fan of Chelsea, but realistically, they look really good this season, so we can't dismiss them, can we?
no, we can't dismiss them, and it's early days. But I would say if you look at the squads, that's what I said about, and I agree with Benty about injuries coming back. I just think we got one of the best squads in the Premier League. The problem is that nearly all of them are kids, apart from Thiago Silva, who races the average age by about 20 years. But I'm starting to believe. If you'd have asked me the question 3 or 4 weeks ago, I would have said I'll be happy to finish top 6. But I think we're starting to come good, and we just needed, like Mudryk, to start scoring goals, and the confidence will flood into that young team.
Okay, yeah. Nick, thank you for your call. Let me take as many as I can. Ian's up next to Chelsea fan. Hi, Ian.
It sort of stole my point there. I was
Ian, sorry. Ian, sorry. It sounds like you're on speakerphone. We can't really hear you well.
Oh, so I'll turn it down. There
you go. That's
Is that
better.
okay?
Yeah, I think so.
No, it sort of stole my point for both of them, because I was saying to the guy the other night, we have a better team out injured than we have on the field, and that was my point. You know, if the injuries are sorted out, I don't see any reason why they can't finish top 4, because the other guy mentioned a good point too, and I've noticed this from the start of the season, bar one game. The defence has been great, and that's where you that's where you start a winning team at the back.
Tell me the top 4 then, Ian. Top 4.
Pardon?
Who would be in the top 4 at the end of the season?
I don't really care, as long as Chelsea are there.
No, I know, but because you think Chelsea will be in it, who do you think will be the other 3? Because I think it's so tough to call. There's so many good sides.
But do you know what? I know this is going to sound bad because I've just said they'll finish in the top 4, but I think the only team that should be in European Champions League is the winners. You know, this top 4 thing is just a thing made up by the media to make the league better for longer, because
it's not.
If you're second, third, or fourth, you've lost.
It's not made up by the media to make the league better. It's made up by UEFA. To make the Champions League.
But it's money. It's about money.
Yeah,
it's just about money. But the best team wins the league and the rest are losers, that way.
Who do you think will be in the top 4 with Chelsea?
Oh, well, City definitely be there.
Okay.
Unfortunately, probably Liverpool.
Okay, one more?
That's a hard one.
Arsenal.
Yeah, I would say Arsenal, because Spurs, when you take Spurs, they're doing well and they're playing with 10 men every week. If you're playing with Richarlison, you're playing with 10 men. So they're doing all right.
Says the Chelsea fan. Okay. I don't think they'll get top 4. I don't think they'll win either at the weekend.
Do you think you'll finish above them?
Yeah, comfortably. I do.
talkSPORT Drive. Super opinionated sporting debate. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.